What's up, guys? Back again with another video. So should you use a dispatch service or book your own loads? Now, when it comes to this is definitely all my opinion, and I can give you pros and cons of using a dispatch service or not. But me, I would say, I would prefer to book my own loads. Main reason is because, I know it's time consuming, but if you get involved with a dispatch service, now a real legit one wants you to sign contracts and sign up with them and stuff like that, because a lot of your money is going to go through a dispatch service. They have you sign on to them, put a carrier packet in, and then they book your loads for you, and the money comes to them and they pay you out. Whether they paying it to your factory company or directly to you, the money is going to come to them because you're going to be using their service, and they're actually going to be the carrier on that, just basically outsourcing. That's one way. Another way is a dispatch service would use your contacts. So if you have carrier packets in with C.H. Robinson and TQL and Uber and stuff like that, they would use your DOT and your information to book that load. That way the load is being booked for you. All they're doing is basically calling up, getting the load, booking a load for you, and then having that load available for you so you don't have to do it. Now, depending on which way you go with this particular service, that's going to vary in the price, on prices that you would get. Now, for example, like the first way that I mentioned, they're going to want a percentage of the load, or they're going to want, a part of the miles or something. So that's how they get paid. That's how they make sure and guarantee that they get their money. So that's why they want to do it that way. Because if they're booking their loads for you, they want to make sure that they're going to get paid. So they want the money to come to them, and then they pay you out. So it's essentially you're just leased onto a carrier at that point. The other way is, let's say the loads are going to you, they want to have you sign some type of document. A lot of them, if you go through somebody that's brand new, they go, or they may work off the honor system because they're brand new, they don't know the business yet, and they're just getting started with their dispatch service. So they can offer you something like, you would say, hey, I got a dispatch service, I want to charge, or I charge $150 a week, $200 a week. And then they book all your loads for you, and then you have to pay them at the end of the week, or however that may go. But a lot of the times, the dispatch service is not going to work that way. They're going to want to have some type of control over the money to make sure that they get paid. Now, the pros is that you don't have to get on a load board, you don't have to find these loads, and you have someone doing it for you. Now, what that costs or what that's worth to you every single week, that's up to you. It depends on how you like to run. I'm going to tell you this firsthand, that mostly dispatchers didn't want to work with me because I don't run the way that they want me to run. They want me to run the easiest way possible, which is, like, let's say they book you a load to Jacksonville. All they have to do is find your load from Jacksonville going anywhere. They don't have to put any effort into running to where you want to run to. Like, it's easy to book a load from a place going to anywhere. Like, if I'm in Atlanta and I want to book a load, it doesn't matter where I'm going. I'm just going for the highest cents per mile. Okay, it's easy for me to book a load from Atlanta, to New York, right? So, like, that's not the way that I run. So being that the way that I run is more like out and backs and stuff like that, they didn't really want to deal with that. So when they called me up, I gave some of them the opportunity to tell me, like, how can they do this and whatever. And they was like, nah, well, thank you for your time. They didn't even want to work with me. So that's just how mine go. But for you guys or anybody that's interested in dispatching, they're going to want some type of way to get their money, or make sure they get their money, and they're going to want you to run how they want you to run. You don't have no control over that if you're using their service. Now, that's the downside to me, because also too, let's say you want to take off of work, or you want to take a couple of days off, you have to let them know, hey, I'm not running today, I'm not running tomorrow, and all this other stuff. It still gives you that kind of, you need to check in type of factor, which of course, I'm not a fan of at all. Now, my way, which is booking my own loads, if I want to take time off, I don't feel like working the whole week or whatever to have you, I just don't book a load for that day, or I don't book a load for that week, and I'm off. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. Also too, by me booking my own loads, it's not that difficult. If you set it up in advance, like 2-3 days in advance, you can find really good loads going into areas where you got freight coming out of, and you want to come back to a specific area or location. You have that flexibility, and you're saving money because you don't have nobody else that you have to pay to do the service for you. That's really my biggest thing about booking loads versus going through a dispatch service, because a dispatch service is just basically like your truck is leased on to somebody, in my opinion. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, no, I run with this dispatch service. So if you got a good dispatch service that you work with, you know, let the people know, you know, leave it down in the comments or whatever. If you know a good dispatch service that people who want to use or will want to use and they're great, that way people can inquire about on that information. But just for my own personal experience, the dispatch services that I talked to or dealt with, they really didn't want to deal with me because they didn't want me running out and back. They wanted to run me into areas where they wanted to run me to. And a lot of them times that those ones that are getting a percentage of the load, they want you to run out to wherever they want you, get the most money and keep you out there because they're getting the percentage. So the more they run your truck, the more money that they can take and put into their pockets, and just got you doing all the work only just because they booked the load for you. And also too, me at this point in time is that once you get into the business and you start running these different brokers or whatever, and you go into these different areas frequently, the brokers is going to do it for you for free. Right? So for example, let's say I'm working with a particular broker like I am now. They say, hey, I got a load going down to Jacksonville and I got one coming back out. You want it? Yeah, let me get it. Tell you what, also, I got this same load. I'm on this contract with this shipper or this receiver, and I got these loads for the next 5 months, 6 months. Do you want me to book you some out in advance? Yeah, sure. Let me check my schedule, see how many days I want to, or see how many weeks I want to run it out. And then I'm doing out and backs, coming home, and I don't have to pay a dispatcher or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. I'm sure you will get more comfortable as time go on with booking your own loads, and you will see that, you know, it's not that hard, it's not that difficult to book a load going to where you want to go to. Just look at it out in advance. So if you go into Atlanta and then you say, hey, I want to go from Atlanta to Charleston or Charlotte or whatever, you know what I'm saying, line them up. The easiest way to do it is if you can get loads. Of course, you guys are drivers, right? If you can get loads that have open windows, not like hard appointments. If you get one, say, you know, the receiver picks up from 8 to 3, you know, I got to deliver before 5, stuff like that. It's easy to book a load that pick up. It give you all the time to run it. And if you want to stop, get lunch, take a shower, whatever, you got all this time in between because you know you don't have to make that delivery till the next day or before a certain particular time, right? So that's my opinion about that, guys. You know, should you use a dispatch service? It's really up to you. You know, if you want to save on time, which that is pretty much a good time saver, is the only thing that I would say that's good about it. You don't have to worry about trying to find loads. You can just get out there and run and make money, and you don't have to worry about booking or finding the loads. Me personally, I'd rather take a little bit of time, find loads, going to where I want to go, being home and being in full control of what I'm doing. And that's just my personal opinion. So hope this video was helpful, guys. Until next time, see you in the next video.